There is a lot of controversy surrounding Drew McIntyre right now in WWE. Allegedly walked out before the Royal Rumble show had even finished and was reportedly swearing backstage, was unhappy with the WrestleMania direction and wants something bigger. That's what's being said, and there was also rumours suggesting that he was upset with LA Knight due to what could be described as maybe a clunky elimination for Drew McIntyre that didn't have a lot of meaning since the fact that LA Knight was in the way. Well, if you go back to history, this is not the first time such a thing has been reported of Drew McIntyre being upset after a premium live event and walking out after the show in a very angry fashion. Do you remember when CM Punk returned at Survivor Series 2023 in Chicago? The exact same thing happened. A lot of people were questioning what would happen with Drew McIntyre. Would he be leaving the company? What would be next? Some people were suggesting Drew Galloway was about to become All Elite. Well, that didn't happen, did it? Drew McIntyre went on to have one of the best years of his career in 2024. Putting CM Punk on the shelf, although that was generally probably an accident that happened in the Royal Rumble, he made gold out of that moment, saying something he dreamed of. He went and have selfies with the likes of Jack Perry and would go on to mock CM Punk on the road to WrestleMania that Punk would not get to have that main event. Instead, he would take CM Punk's place and WrestleMania having a championship match after winning the Elimination Chamber. He also then would win the world title, although only for 5 minutes, before Damian Priest would cash in after, well, CM Punk kind of caused where Drew would be vulnerable. Drew then would go on then to actually face Damian again at Clash at the Castle in Scotland. CM Punk was the reason that Drew didn't win that match, which led Drew to win Money in the Bank, which again, Drew did not cash in successfully due to CM Punk. That feud will continue all the way till Bad Blood, which is arguably as well one of the best Hell in a Cell matches in over a decade. Drew McIntyre had an amazing 2024. So what does this mean in 2025 when Drew is reportedly upset again? I think it's a work, ladies and gentlemen. I think you've probably gathered already where I'm going with it. I don't think there's anything legitimately upset or wrong here. This is just a news feed that's been put out to get people talking, and well, afterwards perhaps maybe Drew wants to perhaps right the wrongs, which is what his character has been recently in WWE, righting the wrong of what is CM Punk's return to WWE. He's had focus on the bloodline stuff as well. He's really anti-Roman Reigns, so I think the one way you can get around this to make this work, especially after being eliminated by Damian Priest randomly in the Royal Rumble, with two guys now being on two different shows, LA Knight being upset with him as well, the fact that he can't get revenge on him. Drew needs to move to SmackDown, and I think there's a way we can make this happen as well. It's called the WWE Transfer Window. We had one final move on Raw this past week, everybody. It was AJ Styles moving to Raw after his return in the Royal Rumble match. For Adam Pearce to get such a coup as AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw, you can't help but think that someone big must be going to SmackDown, right? Because although the transfer window's not really made much sense, sometimes there's been conversations and superstars have just moved over. At the same time, there's been the situations where superstars have been told they're going to the other show. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory being a prime example when Nick Aldis said, "You are going to Monday Night Raw." So for that reason, I think Drew McIntyre will be moving to SmackDown, and for that reason he then can have a bit of sense with his storytelling right now. He can actually have a feud with Damian Priest going into WrestleMania, someone who also alongside CM Punk was ruining a lot of his moments in 2024. Drew McIntyre needs to right that wrong because, like I said, Clash of the Castle Scotland, Priest was the champion that Drew didn't defeat, regardless of the fact that Punk cost him. The fact that at WrestleMania he had his moment taken away from him. Yes, CM Punk was the one that attacked him, but Priest was the one who chose to cash in. And at the Royal Rumble, when Drew thought he was going to get back to WrestleMania, Damian Priest again is the thorn in his side. That one needs fixing, and for me, I think it's a very worthy WrestleMania match for the two. Okay, after having such a great feud with CM Punk in 2024, it's not winning a world title at WrestleMania, but you can build to this in 2025. Drew McIntyre, in my opinion, has done everything he can do on Monday Night Raw at present with the current roster that's there. I've mentioned the Punk feud countless times. He's taken on Seth freaking Rollins a million times as well. He's taken on Jey Uso, Sami Zayn. He's done everything there is to do, and he's even faced Gunther a couple of times in the past as well. If you move things over to SmackDown, he has a lot of problems with the bloodline. He is screaming about Roman Reigns each and every week, how he was wronged at Clash of the Castle in Wales a couple of years ago. You can start building as well to Roman versus Drew again in 2025. I've mentioned as well he's upset with LA Knight, reportedly. We don't know how true that is, but that's the nice little program you can do with those two as well. And probably best of all, Cody Rhodes is on SmackDown, your WWE champion. You could do Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. And if rumors also are to be believed, because it's rumor at this point, if we're going to have Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at WrestleMania, if John Cena won that 17th world title, that's also another fresh opponent for Drew McIntyre in 2025. For me personally, I think a move for SmackDown is just what Drew needs, and I think that this whole thing could just be a ploy to make that move happen. The upset and the unrest of the final moments of Raw, the only way to sort things out. It was the final straw. He needed the move over to SmackDown. So that's my feeling of what I think is explained and what I think is going to play out. But do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments below right now. Do you think that Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre is a good WrestleMania direction? Do you think that this will help Drew get inside the Elimination Chamber, who's avoided all qualifying match announcements on the Raw side? Let me know. He wasn't even on Raw this past week. So again, I just feel it might strengthen the case that Drew is about to move to Friday nights. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button, share with a friend, and subscribe as well. I'll see you for the next video. And if you want to see more from me in the meantime, check out this video on the side of your screen right now. It's my Elimination Chamber 2025 Toronto match card predicted.